Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Izzy Moonbow Fan Club. I appreciate you guys all for coming out here today. Thank you to BabsCon, first of all. They had a really awesome panel. Gotta love the people over at BabsCon. So thank you to them, and I hope you guys will enjoy this panel just as much. So welcome. Oh, I have an echo. Hold on. All right, hold on. Is there still an echo? I don't think there is. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, we have the Izzy Moonbow fan club. Welcome. This is the first time I'm using YouTube, so bear with me. But yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome, Ponies. So what exactly will we cover today as part of the Izzy Moonbow fan club? First of all, why Izzy? Why do we love Izzy? And second of all, what can we expect in the future of Izzy and the development of her character? What direction can we expect the series to go? A lot of this is based off of Generation 4, but regardless, we can still make some pretty good guesses on what we can expect in the near future as far as the far future. And then the last section of this, we have a Q&A, which we got a lot of awesome questions, and then we have a community showcase of just some nice art. So that's what we're going to cover today. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being at today's panel. So first of all, what makes Izzy stand out from the rest? Is it the fact that she's part woodpecker? Could be. Is it the fact that she's just so real, just no cares in the world? Could be that too. But to really find out what the community thought, I took to Twitter. I'm on Twitter at ComfortIzzy with 2 Y's, and I also took to some of my Discord channels. And let's see what they had to say. First of all, we got some very insightful answers. Some people, they just have a passion. They really like Izzy. She's Izzy. We got Izzy. She's purple, but she's also blue. So that's a very great, insightful answer. Everything, just love Izzy. These answers are great. Sometimes you don't even need a specific thing to love about a character to love a character, and I think answers like these are just so great because it just shows how genuinely interested people are in her just as a whole and everything she does, which is a really good thing for not only the future of this character and the care that the developers will put into her, but just how well we will receive her and care for her flaws, care for everything about her, really. So on to some more in-depth answers here. We got her bubbly disposition, which is something a lot of people said. I noticed, at least on Twitter and such, a lot of people said her bubbly energy, like her positivity, not being over the top about being excited. That's a big one. We're going to touch on that one a little bit later. She knows when to keep her mouth shut, but definitely wants to spread happiness. That she has such a great way of bringing balance in that sense compared to a lot of other characters. So that's a big reason why I personally like her. I think I just think that's a really good reason. Her willingness to put out the happiness above all others above her own, much like me in a sense, the part that her resonates with me so much. A lot of people find her relatable. That's another big kind of deal when it comes to creating these really well-loved characters. Is just how relatable they can be, especially from all we have so far is like a movie. All we have is a movie. So the fact that people are getting things like this from just, an hour and a half of screen time is absolutely fantastic. You really have to appreciate the carefulness and the character design that went into her for people to have this strong of a connection before we even get like more than 2 hours of content. So up next we have her enduring optimism. Like I said before, is a pretty popular one among the community. Her sensibilities, as shown in the movie, tell us that while she is bubbly within reason. See, the point that a lot of people bring up is that she's bubbly and happy, optimistic, energetic within reason. She's not really over the top, because a big thing that a lot of people complained about with Pinky in Generation 4 is that she was just over the top. A lot of people thought like she would be annoying or just too much at times. Whereas so far, at least so far from what we've seen from Izzy, she's very contained in a way. She's very contained. She knows when to kind of be over the top, or the way they write her, at least they know when to make her be over the top. They kind of like strategically go about her sort of like optimism and bubbly personality and just general kind of comic reliefish. So in short, Izzy is based. Absolutely. Who wouldn't agree with Izzy being based? So that's what Discord had to say. So these are just some memes that I made real quick. If you hate her, I hate her so much more. This pony makes me happy, because in conclusion, really, there's so many things that make her unique and so great. It's almost hard to contain it. It's almost hard to just contain it in a few words or a few sentences, or just anything really. It's just, she's fantastic. She's a fantastic character design, fantastic, just everything. This is why we love Izzy so much. Now, what exactly can we expect in the future of Izzy? Oh, looks like my slides are a bit messed up. So these were the replies from Twitter. She brightens up any room she's in. How cute and innocent she is, despite being different from other unicorns. Still keep her positivity. Just more of some great stuff. Hold on, my slides might be messed up here. Jesus. Why are my slides messed up? Sorry about that. So again, going back to the future bit, based off Generation 4, what we can expect in the future from Izzy is that we can expect interaction, like more one-on-one interactions, because a lot of people ask me lately, what can we expect in the future? That's just a big question, because there are a lot of different paths we could go based off the movie. I think the one that's more likely to happen is that they really zero down on development and different interactions, because that's really what worked with Generation 4, and I think they should be sort of taking action from Generation 4 and putting it into G5. I'm not saying to like copy and paste, because nobody really wants a copy and paste of Generation 4, but just taking some inspiration from what went so well in Generation 4, translating that to Generation 5 would be a really great step. So based off Generation 4, what we can find out in the early bit is going to be her personal interactions with the characters, getting like an episode with Sunny, an episode with Zip, an episode with Pip, etc., etc. Just really zeroing down on the interdynamics of their friendships, rather than just looking at it as like a whole, like a whole perspective. We can expect to see more on her interests, which is, of course, going to be really great, because we already know she's a super creative horse compared to what we've seen before. I shouldn't even she's not really comparable to any other horse, which is another great thing about her. Anyways, we can really expect to zero in on her interests, her creativity, she's going to be really awesome in that sort of sense. Just seeing what her creative capabilities can go to. Like we saw a little bit of it in the movie when she created a replica crown that everybody believed. How far can that really go? How big of a part of her character can that be? And I think that's a great thing to really zero in on. And if, like I said, if G4 is anything to go off of, we are definitely going to see this in the early G5 season. And that kind of ties into her capabilities, her magical capabilities, her creative capabilities, even like her friendliness, the capabilities of her friendliness. We get to go into all of that early Generation 5. It's going to be so awesome. I just want to see if she's like sneakily powerful or anything like that. Or maybe she's like, maybe she's not as great of a spellcaster as the other unicorns. Maybe she relies on that creativity to make her more powerful rather than her magic itself. There could be a lot of different directions. I agree. It depends on who's writing her. It depends on what the writers think. But if it just, there's so many questions. But if we can go off basic character development like we did in Generation 4, what really worked for Generation 4 was the slow and careful, methodical development of these characters. And I think they should take a similar approach to Generation 5 as they go forward. And just figuring out her capabilities, where the line is drawn at magic, where it starts at creativity, where it starts at friendship, all that sort of stuff is going to be really good to figure out. I really want to explore that more. And then next we can also expect her quirks, which we didn't really get to see dove into in the movie, which is understandable because they can only do so much in an hour and a half. But we can see, what makes her tick, what ticks her off, if anything ticks her off. Just little things that she does. Maybe she's like a little overbearing. Maybe maybe she's a little mindless. There's so many different directions you can really take this character, and I don't think any of them are really a wrong direction to go. I'm just excited to see what they come up with. And then flaws. We're going to get into flaws in a little bit later in the presentation, but flaws, just getting an Izzy episode where we can really see what her biggest flaw might be, is going to be really great. Izzy is literally what Pinkie Pie should have been. I mean, that's another thing I hear a lot. I mean, I personally, I really like Pinkie Pie, and I obviously love Izzy. I don't think they're really comparable as characters personally, but there are obviously people out there who love Izzy for being that more toned down Pinkie, and I can definitely understand that one. So, okay. I'm just making sure my slides are right. Okay. So up next we have the start of the Q&A. So I asked people on Twitter to send me any question through my Curious Cat, and I will answer them for the con panel. So if you guys, this is the perfect time. If you guys have any questions, put them in the Discord chat, put them in the YouTube chat, write them in Ponytown. My pony's even in Ponytown. I know all that stuff. So if you have a question you want answered about Izzy, we can definitely talk about it and speculate together. Just be sure to send it anywhere, really. So, if you could create one episode of the Generation 5 series, what would you have it be about? Personally, I would really like to dive down on her childhood. I think that would be a great place to start, because we haven't that I can't really blame them for not going into it in the movie, obviously, because they only have an hour and a half. But I'm hoping that at least in the upcoming special, there was a special coming out in May, and then the series, the 5-minute short series starts at the end of April, I believe. So hopefully we'll see something about her childhood. I know at least in the fan club Discord server, which I will shamelessly plug later, a lot of people are speculating, what her parents might be if she has parents. Uh, you can whisper the questions to. I'm by the DJ booth. I should be Comfort Izzy. I'm kind of in front of the DJ booth. You'll see I have an Izzy character, or you can type it in YouTube, or you can type into the main stage channel in the Ponies Online Discord. You can do any of that. All of that will work perfectly. So, uh, as I was getting to, if I had to choose one thing for the G5 series, I would pick a childhood episode. I would definitely go in more depth on that because a popular headcanon right now is that Alpha Biddle is somehow a parental figure to Izzy. And I think something like that would be not only great for, like, this is all speculation, of course, but it would be great for just showcasing how diverse a family can be. I know we saw a little bit of that with Scootaloo in the last generation, but really having it tacked onto a main character could be really great for not only like children who are learning, but also just a great thing to generally just represent. It would be a great representation because not everybody has a complete family. So I think that personally would be really awesome. But I suspect because they already kind of Applejacked Sunny, I wouldn't expect them to also Applejack Izzy. So I'm expecting more like her parents are out doing something, her or they're on an adventure or something along those lines and just weren't there for the movie or haven't been there in a while, something along those lines, and then they'll have to go save them. So that's kind of what I'm expecting family wise for Izzy, but it's so wide open. All we can do is speculate. I'm excited for the shorts. I'm excited for the series. I just can't wait to see what they come up with. Maybe an episode that makes use of her talents. Yeah, absolutely. If we get get any sort of like Izzy specific episode exploring, I really think exploring like I kind of explained this earlier, but uh, really going into like her limits as a creative person, as a unicorn would be really great. I think that's a really awesome episode idea. So up next, what do you think could be Izzy's biggest flaw? This doesn't change the fact that she's the best of the best. Oh, obviously, we all know she's the absolute best. Hold on, I got a question coming in from Ponytown. Do you think we will get to see more of her house? I love the house. Yeah, oh, absolutely. I think because especially what we saw from her house in the movie, especially from what we saw in her house in the movie, it seems like being in her house is kind of like a big part of her life. So I wouldn't doubt that we see more things from her house. I wouldn't doubt we see more things from like the city the town, the area of Bridalwood in general, how she interacts with the daily ponies and stuff like that. I think that would be a great thing to really explore. And don't worry, guys, I will post the Discord link in the main stage chat on the Discord here in a second. I'll definitely get that up, so anybody who wants to join can join the Izzy Moonbow Fan Club Discord. But I'll go more in depth about what we do there later. But I think going into this question, what do you think could be Izzy's biggest flaw? I think her biggest flaw, at least from what we've seen so far, could be that her trust. I think her trust is going to be a big flaw. They kind of set it up in the movie, how she just she seems to trust everybody so easily. She trusted Hitch so easily. She trusted Pip and Zip so easily. She even trusted Sunny so easily. As we know, she literally just came out and was like, "Hi, new friend," and then instantly started following her and stuff like that. So I really think that her biggest flaw could be her trust in people, and I think that'd be a great flaw to have and a great flaw to really explore, because there's so many different directions you can go with it. There's so many different directions you can go with it, and it just makes for such an interesting dynamic that we haven't really seen before. Because even in the last generation, we didn't. Nobody really had that instant trust bond. I mean, you could argue Pinky, but we didn't see too much of it from Pinky over the course of the seasons. But I just think Izzy could have that trust flaw, and I think there's so many good directions to go with that. I think that's kind of what they were setting up in the movie. But what do you guys think about that? What could be Izzy's biggest flaw? That was just the first thing that kind of stood out to me was was just her trust could be really great. It would be a really great flaw. But yeah, definitely tell me what you guys think. What is Izzy's talent? We never got to know really. I would guess it's has something to do with like crafting and creating, especially because if I remember correctly, her cutie mark is like it's what, like a needle and a crystal heart. Is that it? Am I thinking of the right horse? I think I am. Even her flaws are great. Absolutely, I agree. Because that's part of what makes a great character is their flaws. Flaws are what make a character more relatable, and it's what gives characters just it makes them help stand out from one each other. It's great for depth, great for relatability. It's great for all that good stuff. I think we got some questions in YouTube chat here. How do you think her tinkering talents can cause shenanigans when she gets a hold of more Pegasus technology? I think that's a really good thing to talk about with the intention of kind of discovering her limits, discovering her power as a creative person, and as a magical being. I think that's probably a great thing to make an episode about, if I'm being honest. That might be, yeah, maybe the Pegasi have greater technology. They can I'm sorry. My brain's fully not here. It's almost 6:30 a.m. Yeah, I think that by her tinkering with more technology, it will give us a better sense of what she's capable of, to really gauge that power, to see what her things would be in the future. So up next, the next question: if I could improve anything about Izzy, what would it be? So right off the bat, I think improve is kind of a tough word, because we just haven't seen enough. So it's really hard to get a gauge on her whole character, what she's really about, and then improve upon it just from an hour and a half. So what I'm thinking is that improve might be the wrong word, but if I could see anything from Izzy, if I could see anything more from Izzy, I would just say probably her. I just want to see her parents. I just want to see more from her parents. I want to see more of her childhood, as I kind of explained earlier. I just want to get really good depth on this character. That's truly what I want. And then once we get more depth, once we get a better hold of her actual capabilities, then I think that we'll be able to figure out some things we might be able to improve, maybe. But at this stage, I don't think you can really say you can improve her in any way yet. Uh, I I don't think Izzy's parents are gone. I like I said before, I don't think they would Applejack two characters. I don't think her parents are gone. I just think they're either on some sort of mission, they're visiting somewhere else. I think it's something like that. How would you feel if they changed her main style every season or special? That'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty cool. Just give us something different every season. That'd be I think that can be a really interesting direction just to keep things fresh, and it would also help people kind of keep track of the seasons and like what episodes and what season, stuff like that. So I think that'd be pretty good. I can see that being like just a little cool thing, just a little cool quirk about what makes her go. Why do you think the Unicorn City was so sad besides the magic being gone? Because the Pegasus ponies couldn't fly, but their city was still thriving. So the Unicorn City, because what we saw from the movie, at least from what we could tell, it was based off them not having magic, which can be understandable since it's literally what we saw from taking the Pegasi ability or Pegasi's ability to fly away. They just weren't nearly as happy as they were in and so obviously unicorns, very magic based beings. I think that I think that's why, really. And as we saw from the movie too, as soon as they got their magic back, they just started to thrive. So I do think it was magic based that the city was so sad, and I want to see more so how Izzy. I want to see how Izzy really interacts with her fellow mates in Bridalwood as the series goes on. I just want anything really. Highest technology for Unicorn seemed to be was a projector Izzy used for her song. That could have been a Pegasus device found in her travels. I think that's a really cool thing in general that has been brought up today. Is that maybe the unicorns just don't have much technology because they're magical. They're so magical. I think that's really cool. I can get down for that idea. Absolutely. And then, yeah, when that actually makes a lot of sense now to think about it, because then when they lose their magic, they don't know how to use much technology because they're used to using their magic all the time. So, okay, interesting. I can be down for that. Would you imagine Izzy also breaking the fourth wall? A little bit, a little bit. Not as much as Pinky, obviously, but I can see it being like maybe like once or twice. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like once or twice she'll break the fourth wall. I'm not sure if we'll see it early. I think that's something they would more so have to do later to kind of catch us off guard. That's what I think about Izzy breaking the fourth wall. I think we'll see it at some point. Just I'm not sure how often. I don't think it'll be too often personally, but I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find that out. So next is gonna be. I'm also gonna ask the same question to you guys. What is your favorite thing about Izzy? I asked my Discord servers before this, and I also asked Twitter before this, but I want to know from you, Ponies. Tell me what is your favorite thing about Izzy? So personally, my favorite thing is how dynamic of a character she is, because I've said this before, and I will say it again. The best scene in the movie was the fire scene. That was the fireside scene. I think that is the greatest scene in the movie because we really got to see an in-depth look at her character, how deep she can really get, like her emotional soft side. And it just gave us so much great development for her character. Like, it's just she's so dynamic. She can do so many things. She's not over hyper. She's just that's my personal favorite thing about Izzy. That's personally my favorite thing about Izzy. Does Izzy need to use reading glasses? I feel like her glasses are probably more aesthetic. I hope they're like an actual thing. That'd be really cool if they were an actual like reoccurring regular thing rather than just like a one off for a song. I really hope we get to see more of the glasses. That'd be really cool. But yeah, favorite thing about Izzy is definitely how dynamic she is, and I only expect that to get better as time goes by. You know, because obviously as her character develops more and we get more in depth look at her parents, her friends, people surrounding her, stuff like that. I think that will only really it's something that can only improve unless they just totally screw it up, but we're not going to think about that. I don't want to put that energy into the air at all. uh she's delightfully charming and silly, but in a calm way, not loud and in your face. Yeah, exactly. Not in your face at all compared to compared to Pinkie Pie. Again, I'm not trying to like talk smack on Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie is a great character. It's just I feel like because of how aggressive her comic relief character like style is, it's not for everyone. Not everybody can really handle that, and I saw a lot of that kind of play out in Generation 4. So, I want to hear more about her seeing Pony's luminescence. I think that's a really great thing too. So her luminescence ability is so unique. It's so cool. I really want to see more on that, and I want to see how much that can really mean. How much that can really like affect things. Maybe she can sense the luminescence of someone while I don't know, in stressful situations, for instance, because she said like your luminescence is so bright right now. Maybe she can tell when it's kind of darker, more evil. Maybe she just kind of has like a third sense for evil or misdoings, stuff like that. So I'm interested to see how far that can go. I think that's a really cool thing. Would it be a good idea if Generation 5 also get an episode on how the main five got their cutie marks? Oh, yeah. I think something like that could only help. Because especially the way they implemented it in Generation 4, how they kind of like put it hand in hand with a childhood experience, really getting to know like how they grew up and stuff like that. I think that could be a great thing. Absolutely great, because I don't think it could help unless they really mess it up. I just think that could help. I think that could only help the characters, only help their development, only help how we see them, all that good stuff. So yeah, I think having an episode dedicated to that would be really nice. Maybe spread them out over the course of like 2 episodes though. That would be my one. That would be my one thing, is maybe spread it out between 2 episodes, just so you don't have to cram 5 different stories in 22 minutes, kind of like what they did with the main 6. So for that reason, I'd like to see it spread out a bit more, just so we get a little more time, especially if this happens in the earlier seasons for development's sakes. I would really like to have as much time as possible. Yeah, I think that'd be a great one. Pagan. I'm sorry, Pagan. I've just seen your messages. Uh, so what if Alpha Biddle is Izzy's dad, but he doesn't know? That's a really great. I think that's a really great question. I think Alpha Biddle being a kind of parental figure. We touched on this a little bit, but I think Alpha Biddle being a parental figure would be really great for the series. I think it would be really great for just her relatability and how much people care for her as a character. I think it would be great representation for people who don't have a flawless family, and I just think it'd be a great thing. So what if? I think that could open up for some great episodes, some great adventures, because I think then we're kind of more likely to see Alpha Biddle and Izzy adventures. More Alpha Biddle, just more Alpha Biddle. Alpha Biddle is a super interesting character in the movie. I don't know about you guys, but I really like the concept of Alpha Biddle, and I really like that he has such a kind of realistic flaw / downfall that I could really like to see explored more, especially with the dynamic when you add Izzy into it. I think that could make for such an interesting storyline and stuff like that. So I would love to see that, absolutely. I think that'd be really awesome. Hold on, I'm opening up the main chat again. I'm in the wrong Discord. There we go. Favorite thing about Izzy is when she said ACAB. Yeah, I can agree with that. We get a series on YouTube and Netflix and maybe the future comics, but my question is, which three should explain why the ponies race got separated? I'm not sure if I'm understanding that. Which of three should explain why the ponies race got separated? I mean, we kind of got that in the movie, right? We kind of got a why in the movie. It's just, I mean, I would like to see a little more on it. Oh, which of the? Okay. So I think because we already got a little bit of it in the movie, I'm not sure if we need to go into it too much more unless it's really integral. I could see them doing that in the YouTube series, the 5-minute specials, just another 5-minute kind of explanation on what happened in the past and stuff like that. I think that would be really great. Let's look at some whispers here. We got a couple whispers on Ponytown. Most cartoons and shows do over-the-top comic relief characters, so Izzy was such a breath of fresh air. Yeah, I can agree with that. Izzy really isn't over the top, and I think that's one of the most likable things about her, is that she's really not too much. She's not in your face. She's more toned back. Her comic relief is more like appropriately timed. I just hope they don't really explode and be like, oh, Izzy's a successful comic relief. Let's make her only comic relief. I hope they don't do that. So yeah, we're gonna. I think that's a great thing. I want to know her favorite color, favorite food, everything, and then what's my biggest personal question I want answered. The biggest question I want answered. It's tough to kind of zero it down to one question, really. It's tough to narrow it down to one question. I really want to see her, probably her dynamic with her village mates. Again, do we know if Broadwood is like I think it's Broadwood Village, right? That is it? Do we know? I don't know if we even know that. Yeah, I think I really want to see how she interacts with the village now that now that the magic's back and everyone's happy. I really want to see what her like social standing is. I think that'd be a real cool thing to go into. her social standing within Bridalwood. It has to be pretty good now that she's known for saving magic. But I wonder if there's still people who will just kind of like shrug that off. I think seeing her inner dynamic within Bridalwood, I think that'd be a really great thing to get answered. Just like, how is she perceived among people in Bridalwood? What is my favorite trait Izzy possesses? Uh, my favorite trait about Izzy, I think I have. I wish I had a more unique answer, but I think I just have to go with her optimism. She even even in her darkest moment in the fireplace scene, we even saw her being like, the reason she was so sad was because she didn't want the adventure to end. And that's like it's so sad, but at the same time it's so incredibly positive and driving, and it just gives saying something like that gives energy to your group because they're like, hell yeah, this is a great adventure. So I think her my favorite trait about her would just be her optimism. I think that's a lot of people's favorite traits too, and I'm just excited to see where that could lead her. Yeah, yeah. Thank you guys for you guys are asking some great questions. I appreciate it. Thank you. Uh, let's see what we got. She's funny and energetic, but not obnoxious. Yeah, I think that's one of the main things that makes her the best is just how carefully they managed her comic relief style, her comic relief role. It's almost to the point where you don't even kind of call it a comic relief role. She plays like a minor comic relief role, and the fact that they didn't play that up really crazy to like overshadow what character she has, I think was absolutely perfect. Do you think Izzy likes mayo on her sandwiches? Well, when she first said the forbidden words, she didn't bing bong, so I'd have to think that she does. I'd have to think she does. I hope we get to see her show off her intelligence too, because she also has that going off for her. Oh, absolutely. She's super creative. She's great at, you know, creative people. Some people may disagree with this, but I think creative people are some of the smartest out there. Like if you can think originally, whether it's art, music, crafting, any sort of things in that sphere, I think you're a super smart person. So I think the fact that Izzy is so creative just shows off that she is intelligent, and just shows how just absolutely great of a character she is and what her potential is. Uh, so believe that was the last question I chose from Curious Cat. Now up, I just have a little community showcase, some great Izzy art. We have about 15 minutes left in the panel, so yeah. Uh, so this is from Llama Launcher One at Llama Launcher One on Twitter. Llama Launcher makes some awesome Izzy art. I love Llama Launcher. Uh, there's this random horse who asked me to take a picture of her. I don't know. I don't know what for. They just left afterwards and asked to see the picture. Should I be worried? But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, put them in YouTube chat. Put them in my whispers. Put them in the main channel chat. and we'll be sure to talk about them. I think we're having some great conversations here. So this art piece from Law Launcher is awesome. Absolutely love it. Next, we got the at Scribble Potato, the scribbling potato, with this kind of gives me like Star versus the Forces of Evil vibes. Especially, I don't know why, but just this style kind of gives me that whimsical sort of magical style. So I really like this one from Scribbling Potato. It just gives me that sort of like cartoony fantasy vibe. So I really like this piece of art here. Then we got from I don't know how to pronounce that, and I'm afraid of pronouncing it wrong. Keter, Esim, S. I I don't know. I'm sorry, but here we have we just have some marshmallows being roasted between Sunny and Izzy, and the when I first saw this, it took me a second or two to realize that the marshmallows are on Izzy's horn, and she's just roasting him that way. It's watch the hair, yeah. I think this is a great, absolutely great and creative drawing. This one's so funny. I love this. Let's see. Izzy's tinkering would make for a good Batman utility belt gag in an episode. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I wonder what the first villain would do and why. Ooh. There are. I'm not going to say them here, but I will say there are spoilers out there. There are spoilers out there for a villain. I'm not going to spoil it for people who don't want spoilers, but if you look it up, if you look it up, if you Google it, there are spoilers out there. So first of all, be careful, but also if you like spoilers like me, then absolutely go and check those out. Let's see. What vibes does Izzy give you? I get 80s, 90s fantasy with her colors. You know what? I really like kind of like a late 90s or maybe early 90s vibe. 80s, I'm not too sure. I've seen a lot of people relate her to like the 90s era. So I probably have to go with probably more likely early 90s. I really like that. Do you think she could be related to any of the characters from G4? I would be a fool to say it's not possible, because it's definitely possible. Definitely possible. Likelihood, I wouldn't say it's too likely that she's like directly related. We could see some sort of like distantly related stuff, I think would be more likely. But as far as like a direct relation, I would probably say no. I know there are some people who are hoping that there's not a direct relation, but I don't think it's likely they do that, but let's see. Who do you think she would be related to in Generation 4? In Generation 4, I'm thinking maybe like I think Twilight would be a sneaky one. If they didn't want to go with the obvious Pinky, then I think relating her to Twilight somehow would be really like it would kind of catch people off guard. And I can see a bit of Twilight in her. I can definitely see a bit of Twilight in her. I was thinking Rarity actually. Okay, you know what? That's actually a really good one. You know, her creativity, crafty purple unicorns. Oh yeah, that's actually a really good point. That's a really good point, actually. Relating her to Rarity would be really nice, huh? Okay, yeah, I'm down for that. Absolutely, that's a good one. That's a really good one. I think it'd be so interesting as he seems to be the least superstitious of her village. I think that shows how open-minded she is and how she doesn't just blame everything bad on others. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I think that's a really great thing about her too, huh? That's a really cool, that's a really unique thing, and I want to see how that builds into the inner village dynamic. You know, kind of what we talked about it. Medium sneaky, absolutely medium sneaky. I believe we have one more piece of art here. Yep, from good friend MJ. Love MJ. MJ is a mutual of mine on Twitter. Absolutely love MJ. makes some absolutely remarkable art, especially of Izzy. And here we see a little artist Izzy. I absolutely love it. I just love everything. I love the turtleneck. Like I'm a when I as soon as I saw this, I was a big fan of this one. I really like this. So last chance to get in your questions. We have a little bit of time left in this panel. I'll probably end a few minutes early to kind of help the transition to the next panel be a bit smooth. But I want to know if she had friends before the film. I think it was a little. I think they tried to push, or I don't think they tried to push. I think they really put in there that she didn't really have any friends before the film, especially with her being so different from the different people in the village. I really don't think she had many friends in the village beforehand, and I think kind of reiterating that would be nice. Maybe just a little mention of it, but I don't think she had any other friends in the village. She wrote a birthday card to herself. Exactly. She wrote a birthday card to herself. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. How cute is that? How cute and sad is that? I cannot wait to see more of her character. It's gonna be so awesome. If you met Izzy, what would you do? That's a tough one because there's so many. I would probably just want to like create something. I'd probably just want to create something, you know. So, uh, I don't even know where I would start with a creation, but I would like to create something. Just learning from her, having giving you tips and tricks, seeing what she can really do. I think that would be really fun. Yeah, arts and crafts with Izzy sounds like a good YouTube series. Yeah, oh yeah, it does. How far away is Brattlwood from Maritime Bay? Probably a decent bit. Because did we saw a little bit of a map, didn't we? Or no, we do know the map. I would pull it up and do math, but but the panel, we only have a little bit left in the panel. But Izzy sees the brightest things around her, despite all the anti-racial agenda going on in the movie. You know, Izzy is the leader we need. Izzy is the leader we need in life. Vote Izzy for president of Equestria. She gives me major art teacher vibes. Yes. Oh, Izzy art classes. Yes, Izzy art classes. Thank you. Yes. All right, so I'm gonna put the link into the Discord server, but we do have an Izzy Moonbow fan club Discord if you guys want to join. We have weekly meetings just like this one. I make a PowerPoint every single week. We have a great time there. We have weekly game nights as well following the meetings. We're starting to have Minecraft nights for our very own Minecraft server. We play Jackbox a lot. We'll play Gartic Phone. We'll play a bunch of stuff like that. So if you want to join the Discord, go ahead on the Ponies Online Discord main chat and hit that invite link and join the Izzy Moonbow fan club. We have a friendly and active community. Everybody wants to make friends. Everybody loves Izzy. We're gonna do great. Yeah, thank you all for coming out to the panel. You guys have been nothing but absolutely awesome. I love the questions. I love the passion. It's what we love to see as an Izzy lover. So if you love Izzy, join the Izzy Moonbow fan club on Discord, and maybe subscribe to my channel. So then, if you're watching on YouTube, so then you can get to see the meetings. I'm gonna start posting the meetings on YouTube weekly. So if you want to see the Izzy Moonbow fan club meetings, go ahead and subscribe there. Just in time for the panel to wrap up. Oh no. But don't worry, the full meeting will be posted on YouTube. So what's my YouTube? My YouTube is Dantastic Videos. I'll try to type it in chat so you guys see it. If you search on YouTube, you should see my pony Sona. But yeah, thank you all for coming out to the panel. Remember to join the Discord for weekly meetings and weekly game nights. Make some new friends. Talk about Izzy. It's a great time. I appreciate your guys' questions. You guys were awesome. I was super nervous for this, but you guys made me feel a lot more comfortable. So yeah, make sure and stick around. Go to the vending hall. They got some really great vendors today, or just throughout this weekend in general. They have some really great vendors. Definitely check out the vendor hall. Got some awesome stuff going on there, and then stick around for some more. I believe I don't know. There's a lot of music panels going on. There's some really talented musicians coming up today, as there were yesterday too. So yeah, shout out to Pagan Pegasus. Great set. That's the one I got to catch yesterday, but I'm going to catch them all today. But yeah, you guys are really awesome. And without further ado, I believe I'm going to try to wrap up here. But yeah, thank you all for coming out to the Izzy Moonbow fan club. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of Ponies Online. So thank you very much.